ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So seeking blessings of all my superiors and prayers of all my juniors here, I would like to start with today's session. So the topic which I have chosen is cultivating the inner stability. And I really feel that if I can add, as I said yesterday also, if I can add an iota, a small value to each and every student here attending today's session, I will consider it to be a grand success of my session. So what I'll do now is I'll start with the presentation, and we'll go up till 12:15 or 12:20, and then I'll open up for questions and also realizations or reflections. So what do we mean by realizations or reflections? So what are you gaining from today's session? So any one point which you like or which you would like to implement in your day-to-day life, what is that touched your heart? I would like to listen from each and every one of you. Maybe you can post in the chat box at the end. Okay. So let's start with today's session. Let me share my presentation. Okay. So this is the topic for today, cultivating the inner stability. So I have a first question for all of you all to start with. Since it's a online session, it's always a challenge for me because I'm more of an interactive person. All my sessions are interactive. So I have a first question for all of you all. Please post in the chat box what every one of us are looking for in life. All of us in general, people in general. What is everyone looking for in life? Yes. Can I have some answers, please? Success, settlement, okay? Happiness, happiness and peace, okay? And what else? Satisfaction, successful career, money. Now someone is, very honest. Money, satisfaction, success, food. Oh, that's nice. Success, fulfillness, okay? Power, makes sense. Health, good. Achievement, that also makes sense. I was invited to one of the universities here in Bangalore, and first question I asked was that what are you planning to gain from today's session? Oh no, sorry, my question was why are you studying in this college? So one boy, he raised his hand and he said, "Sir, to gain knowledge." And all the students around were looking like this, and they were like, "Knowledge or money?" So all of us are here now with a motive. All of us are with some motives. Yes. But in general, if we classify, in general, if we just summarize what everyone is looking forward in life, as most of you all rightly said, happiness. Happiness or satisfaction. They're synonymous. Every time when we go to a movie or every time we go to a restaurant, even for that matter, today you have come for this session. Every time, we ask this one question, what am I planning to gain here? And only one answer will be there. I want happiness. All of us at every single place. I want happiness. So this is what all of us are looking forward for. And all glories to the media industry, the advertising industry. They also make this point a lot. So they talk about happiness, but their talk is something different. Look at this. All of us are looking for happiness, but the advertising industry it will say that buy this home, you'll be happy. Buy this car, you'll be happy. Buy this bike, you'll be happy. And this is hilarious. Buy this innerwear, you'll be happy. So every now and then, now we see different advertisements, and every now and then it's very clear that everyone is talking about happiness. Everyone. So today, let's discuss more about this and also talk about how to get that inner stability, how to get the inner strength. So this is the talk for today, and I'm sure many of us who are looking forward for inner stability, many of us who are going through some difficult phase of life, many of us who are feeling a bit weak inside, a bit instability inside, will surely gain a lot of things from today's session. But only one thing is needed, if you want to gain all this from today's session, a bit of attentiveness. So when I was doing my engineering and masters in BITS Pilani, I do remember, when seminars would be arranged, it will be like, once again, one more seminar. Yes, because sometimes, or most of the time, the seminars are a big bouncer. Yes, and we try to find the head and tail of what the person is speaking. So I was thinking like, let me keep my session simple. Normally, my sessions are heavy when I give to corporate professionals, but since it's for students, I thought let me keep it simple. So the first thing that we'd like to discuss today is we all are searching for happiness, but then are we searching in the right place or not? This is the question. In this world, reality. I'm a student of Bhagavad Gita, cipher Bhagavad Gita to understand the different setup of this world. One shloka which I like a lot, from Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 14th shloka. It says, Matra sparshastu kaunteya, shitoshna sukha dukkhada, agama paino nityastam titikshasva bharata. So this particular shloka says, it gives a speciality of this world. It is saying, agama apaina anityas. I feel that someone has unmuted themselves. Please make sure you're on mute. Yes, it will disturb others. So this shloka has got one word, anitya, and the other words also, like ashashvata. In this world, we see that everything is temporary. We cannot say that this particular thing is permanent. Nothing in this world is permanent. Everything is temporary. When this COVID started, the corona thing started, it was as if it is permanent. Everyone sitting at home, locked down completely. Even now, people are locked down, but then things are opening up. Things are proper. Nowadays, people are wearing masks and they're going out. I had some throat infection, so I had gone to a nearby hospital. I was sitting for my appointment, and besides me, there was one personality. So they were wearing a mask. It was nice to see that how people become accustomed to the situation, and they make change out of every situation. So that particular lady, she was wearing a mask, and it was a designer mask with nice embroidery on it. And I was just wondering that this is how people change the situations. Ideally, it might look it's permanent, but it's not. It will keep changing. So this word anitya is very important. It is temporary, and things will keep changing. So now the question is very carefully. You'll have a lot of fun time now when we talk about this. The first thing that changes is our own self. Every now and then we keep changing, isn't it? Every now and then our expectations keep changing. Like, for example, suppose I give you a task that watch your favorite movie. If I ask you which is your favorite movie and you say some XYZ name, and then I ask you that watch this movie 100 times. And the person might say, okay, it's my favorite movie, I'll keep watching. First time, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, sixth time, and then the person is enough. I need some change. I need some change. Even for that matter, when I first time when I went to my college hostel from my place where I would stay. I was staying in Mumbai at that time. From there, I went to Pilani. Uh, so at that time, for the first time, I was out of the house, and no, mother's food is something which we cherish. And then here it was mess, a food mess. Then first day I went, and so many items were made. It was so nice. Me and all of my friends, we all sat together and we were eating. First day it was very nice. Second day it was very nice. Third day, fourth day, first week, second week, third week, it was amazing. And after that, the food was same. And we were getting frustrated. We were like, what is this? There's no change. So what had changed here? Food was same. The movie which I talked, that was same. But our expectations are changing. When we meet a person for the first time, we feel very nice. Yes. And we talk to the person and things like that. But after some time, people start getting frustrated with each other. So I've got some counselees, many counselees, in fact, who are married. So they have this complaint all the time that this person before marriage he was so nice. I don't know what's wrong with him now. And when I asked that person, the other spouse, so what happened to you? He said, I'm the same. I'm the same. So people expect change. Their expectations keeps changing. This is the first point, to remember for today. The first change that we see is in our own life, that is expectations change. Second, people change, our expectations change, but along with that, people also change in our day-to-day life. Yes. And we feel normally that if we can satisfy people around, we will be happy. And this is what we have seen, in our day-to-day life, everywhere for that matter. We spend most of our life in impressing people around. Most of the time. If you agree with me, you can post in the chat box, yes, I do agree. If you don't agree, don't post anything. Yes. So let me discuss about this topic, a very interesting topic. Now, whenever we are invited for a party, or whenever we want to go for some marriage function, we choose the best dress, isn't it? We open our wardrobe and then we choose the best dress that we have. The best of the best t-shirt or the best of the best top or jeans or whatever, skirt, etc. Best dress. But then when we are invited for a marriage, it's not our marriage, it's someone else's marriage. Why we have to dress nicely? When we are invited for a party, just wear something and go. Why the best thing? Why? So people might say, no, I want to look good. But why you want to look good? And the answer is, if I look good, people will be impressed. Yes. People will be impressed, and that's what we want to do. So it's like about dressing. And then when it comes to our selfies that people post nowadays on Facebook, every now and then one selfie and post on the Facebook. Yes. Some of the examples which I remember is people sitting in the restaurant. They'll click selfie of the whatever dishes they've ordered, and they'll say, "Yummy, delicious." And if it's really delicious, eat. Why are you taking a selfie and posting? Yes. Whom are you talking about? And then people on the Facebook, they'll start commenting, oh, it's so nice. How nice if I would have been there with you in the restaurant. I would have eaten this tasty food, etc., etc. This is regarding restaurants. When people keep traveling from one place to another, check in. I checked in at this airport, checked out from this airport. Who cares? Who cares? But then, yes, people want to post and pose what they're doing. And then we have sometimes people come to the temple. Yes. So I'm here at ISKCON Whitefield in Bangalore. So many people come to our center also. I've seen people doing this. They'll take a selfie with the Lord and immediately post on the social media and say, feeling very devotional. And then there are comments down. Hey, you have become a sadhu. You have become such a great spiritualist. And etc., etc., etc. All these are still okay Now, I found one selfie which was really hilarious. That was a person, he posted a selfie. Please hear carefully. He posted a selfie with the dead body of his grandmother, and he was like, sad demise of my grandmother. Oh, I was just wondering, what are we trying to do in our life? Yes, I'm sure you all are college students, even for faculties for that matter. Everyone will agree with what I'm saying. This is what people want to do. They want to pose what they have, and they want to pose what they don't have as well. Now, one boy, he took a bike. No, he rented the bike on a Valentine's Day, and then he was. I think the boys will be knowing this. Wheelie and ando. Wheelie means you take the front wheel up of the bike and you try to ride the bike. So that one boy was doing that, and now he was driving it properly. And as soon as he saw some opposite gender around, he lifted the first wheel, the front wheel, and he was inattentive. He fell down. He fell down. Trying to impress people around. This is what has become the goal of life. But then I have one question for all of y'all, and I want an answer from all of y'all. Can we impress all the people around us all the time to their full satisfaction? Yes, can I have some answers, please? Can we impress all the people around us all the time? Hey, come on, everyone is saying no. How come? But this is what we're trying to do. Every day, this is what we're trying to do. Wear the best thing, speak the best way, act the best way, best photo. Why don't we put on the DP some photo which is not good? Why do we put the best of the best photo? Why? We want to impress people. That's how it is. That's how it is. But the fact is, as you all rightly said, we cannot impress people, everyone around us, all the time to their full satisfaction. Very difficult. Very difficult. What to talk about people around us? Two married people cannot impress each other. It was my parents' anniversary, marriage anniversary. I guess it was 30th, 30th anniversary. So I was talking to my mother. So I was asking her that, so how was your adventurous life? So did you understand? Did you understand your husband nicely? So my mother was like, your father's expectation always keeps changing. I'm not able to understand him at all. That's how it is. That's all the faculties who are married will agree with me. So in this way, we see that now even husband and wife who are staying together all the time, they are not able to impress each other. They are not able to satisfy each other. What to talk about the strangers around us whom we try to please every now and then. We enter a new place, a strange place for the first time. Have you noticed? When we start walking into the crowd, we start feeling that everyone is looking at us. Everyone is looking at us. Everyone feels, and we feel that every time. Everyone is looking at us, and the way we walk, the way we sit, everything, we make it sophisticated, as if everyone is looking at us. But then, can I tell you something? No one cares for us. No one cares for us. We feel like everyone is looking at us. We feel that everyone is watching us, but then the fact is no one cares for us. This is the point. So we cannot impress people around because their expectations keeps changing. And if we feel that by impressing people around we'll be happy, then it's a great myth. I was giving a session here in ISKCON Whitefield, Bangalore. I guess this was last year, same January time. So there were like 100 plus corporate professionals who were sitting, and I was speaking about something similar topic. So one lady, she got up, from the seat. She's a PhD with a very high qualification and a high position in her very great MNC company. So she got up and she said that I'm a PhD and I was the research scientist in so and so company, but I've quit my job. Now I'm curious. I was curious to know what was the case. And then I asked her, so what happened? And she told a very nice thing. And I think all the students who are aspiring to be research scientists or all the students who are aspiring to be in a company can take a nice takeaway from this. She said that it was one fine day when she was sitting in front of the mirror and she was getting ready, whatever makeup. Yes. And she said that when I was looking into the mirror, I couldn't find myself. I was not there. Uh, she was not a ghost or something. Her point was, I was not able to find my natural self. What I could see was a person with an artificial setup, with an artificial mask. So the point is that many people, after many years, they realize this, that we are changing our face every now and then. In college, we have one face. At home, we have another face. In parties, we have another face. Array, what are we trying to do? What sort of life are we living? Every now and then changing to impress people around. But take it from me. Again, I'm repeating the point. We cannot impress people around because all the time people's expectations keeps changing, like our expectation also keep changing. A very important point. Yes. And we have done a very unfortunate thing. You know what? We have given the remote control of our life into others' hands. They press a button, we become happy. They press a button, we become sad. Who they are to do that? But it's we who have given our remote control to them, the remote control of our life to them. Simple example. You dress very nicely, and someone comes and tells you, "Hey, you're looking amazing. You're looking chakas. You're looking beautiful," and we are like so happy. Aha! And then you're dressed very nicely. You're about to go out, and the person says, no, some person saying, "You don't know what sort of color combination are you wearing?" And the person becomes completely shattered and morose hearing this. So we are waiting for a stamp from others all the time for our happiness. They tell that you're looking good, we become happy. They like our photo on the social media, we feel, yes, my DP is the best DP or my photo is the best photo. You know what? If you really want to become stable in life, take this first note. If you're making some notes, you can note it down. This remote control of our life, which we have given it to others, we have to pull it back again. I will tell you how to pull it back at the end. But this is what is the goal. We have to pull that remote control back, which we have given to people. Yes. And we cannot depend on others' stamp to be happy or sad. This is a very important point for noting. Yes. So first, our expectations change. Second, people keep changing. Third, our situations keep changing every now and then. Yes. I'm talking about how this world changes. So I started from ourselves. So our expectations change. People around us, they change. And the entire circumstance, the entire situation, everything changes. Right? Simple example. One of my student who is working as a senior manager in one of the companies. So he was sharing that one fine day when he went to the office, so his VP came, vice president of that particular company. He came to his cabin, and already in the cabin, HR was there. I don't know if the students can understand all these words, but I'm sure at least you might have heard these words. Yes, the HR and the accountant and the logistics person, all of them, they were present in the cabin already with a paper. And you know what happened in the cabin? Once that VP entered the cabin, at that time, all of them put forward their paper and they were expecting a sign. The fact was that that person was kicked out from the job that particular day. And he was told by the HR that don't speak to anyone. Just exit from your cabin, out of the company, and leave. So that student of mine, he was trying to talk with that VP when he was leaving. That, sir, what happened? You just entered again, you're leaving. What happened? We need to have a meeting. And he didn't speak anything. When I heard this case study, I was thinking that anything can happen anytime. Anything can happen anytime. Situations change, favorable situations change. Yes. If we are thinking that the situations will remain same and it will be favorable, we can remain satisfied and happy, forget it. It's not going to happen. Surely it's not going to happen. So a few of my students are into automobile. They're into automobile industries. Yes. So they were telling that this year they will be getting hike, they'll be getting promotion. So this was a discussion which we were having in January. And then the COVID started in March, April at that time. And the first industry that got hit in this COVID was the automobile industry because everyone was locked inside. So what is the need of automobiles at that time? So my students were telling at that time that we were hoping for a hike and promotion, but look what happened. Everything is shut down, roads are empty, and our company is going slow. In fact, there are a lot of layoffs. People are kicked out from the job. Situations change. If we are thinking situations will remain same, then forget it. Situations will not remain the same all the time. This is the changing world we are living in. Starting from ourselves, our world, we are searching for happiness. In this changing world, we are searching for happiness. Let me make another point now. What is the source of our happiness? What is the source of our happiness? Let's discuss on this point now. Source of our happiness is, I don't know if you will accept or not, but this is what is the fact. Please self introspect now. Source of our happiness is comparison. Let me give some examples now. Y'all are students, student examples. When it comes to marks, okay, I've seen this personally. So I worked as a faculty for 1 year. I was teaching final year engineering students. And after that, I was working in a VLSI industry. Yes, before counselor. So when I was working as a faculty, and also before that, when I was a student, I was observing this with myself and even with other students. When it comes to the distribution of answer sheets or marks, comparison. Hey, how much did you get? How much did you get? And then when there is a comparison at that time, if someone gets 1 mark more, if there are competitors, 1 mark more, the person starts feeling he's lost it. And the other person was marks more, he's like, I've achieved the topmost bliss and happiness in the entire world. Comparison. So it's not about what I have got, it's about what the other person has got. Maybe when you all will grow up and get a job, there's something called as appraisal, hike in salary. Okay. So during appraisal, what happens is in a team, not everyone will get the same hike. Hike means increase in the salary. So there'll be some people who will get a bit higher than others, and someone will not get also hike. Someone will get a moderate hike, lower hike, higher hike, whatever, like this. So when that appraisal happens, you know what the happiness is? I got more salary than this person, more happiness than this person. Yes. This is that comparison. This is that comparison status. Even when it comes to dressing ourselves, and I'm talking a lot about dressing because college students, right? I am looking better than that person. My bike is much better than his. Mine is a stylish one, the modern one is dabba. Yes. So it's all about comparison. You know what? The happiness depends on the delta difference between what I have and what the other person has. And if what I have is greater than the other person, I feel happy. Can you imagine this? We are gaining happiness from what? We're gaining happiness from comparison. My God, how long are we going to do this? Comparing and to be happy? As I already said, expectations change of ourselves, people, and the situation. What is the guarantee that we will always be higher than the other person? Because it's not that all the time we will be successful, all the time we'll be ahead of others. Yes. So the point that I'm trying to make is the source of happiness that we have got now, that is comparison. And in this changing world, the search of happiness by impressing people and doing all that nonsense that we're doing has made our life superficial. It's very, very superficial, extremely superficial. And this superficial life, we cannot expect to be happy all the time. Very, very difficult. Yes. If we are thinking that this superficial life will give us stability, forget it. It will not happen. Never ever it has happened, and never ever it will be happening. In fact, what happens when a person is not stable? Let's discuss on this. When a person is not stable, not strong within, there are lots of chaotic situations that take place. And this stability, if that is based on the setup around which is changing, then it will be very, very difficult for a person to become strong within and stable within. Simple example I'll give you. Now you all are students, so you might be thinking that getting a very high paid salaried job, will gain a lot. I'll gain a lot of stability. I'll feel very nice and things like that. But a fact about this, maybe externally we might have everything, but then the internal thing matters more. Let me give you an example. So in 2016 or 2016-17, these 2 years, I served as a e-counselor on one of the international websites. So I would get mails from different places. So one mail I got was from Hyderabad. So this personality who mailed me, he was IT professional, and his package was really high. He told me all that in the mail. But then he told me one thing, that I'm not happy, I'm not satisfied. I said, what happened? You know what he told? That there's so much of pressure in the office that what I do is, when I come back from the office, I dump that pressure on my good chaste wife and my innocent daughter, who is just in her KG section. Can you imagine a person who is well educated, person who is earning very nicely, person who has got a very nice designation in his corporate setup? That personality, he's coming home and he's doing this nonsense of releasing the pressure. Hope you understand, releasing the pressure is like hitting and shouting and blaspheming and chastising, all that. So what's the use of all that the person has got? This is called as completely unstable within. Completely unstable within. This instability which is there, this weakness which is there in the heart, will not allow the person to grow in life. Even if he has got the best of the best degree from the best of the best college and earning the best of the best package and the best of the best company, still that person will be the most miserable on this earth. He will not be able to balance his life and work. Yes. So the point that I'm trying to make is that inner stability, the inner strength, and inner happiness is very, very important. Yes. Because external situations are going to change. Always they're going to change. But then, if we don't get stable within, we will not be able to sustain in this world. We will not be able to be happy. Maybe we'll sustain. No, it's not a big thing to exist in this world. But then we'll not be happy, we'll not be satisfied. Yes. So this is the point which I'm trying to make, that the real success of life, is to become strong within, to become stable within. So depending on our destiny, various factors will be decided in life. Yes. Like we are celebrating, you all are celebrating, I should say, and I'm also part of the celebration now. Srinivas Ramanujan, his birthday, we are celebrating here. So I was reading about him, amazing personality. I was reading about him on Wikipedia. So this personality, so obviously he endeavored, but then the knowledge that he got and the excellence that he had in mathematics was just like that, just like that. He didn't much endeavor. So it was his destiny, by which he got this wonderful aspect. And then later, he very nicely tapped the opportunity that he got, and he became a great mathematician. So all of us, our destiny will take us to some or the other place. In Sanskrit, we call it as karma. So it will take us to one or the other place. Sometimes it will be really good. Sometimes, it will be really pathetic. Now, how do we respond to both the situations is very, very important. And our response will be based on one thing: how strong we are within. How strong we are within. I had gone to convocation back to my college. This was a couple of years back. When I went there, I got to know that one student has committed suicide. Now I was like, this is such a posh, prestigious college. People hanker to get admission in this college. Why the hell? What happened to him? Why did he, commit suicide? So he wanted to get something, some placement in some company, whatever. He had scored well, and he didn't get it. He couldn't manage that situation. He couldn't. Yes. One of my friend from IIT, I'll not tell which IIT. It's not fair to tell the place names. So what happened is, another friend of his. So he wanted to take something into mathematics, and he was put into CS, computer science, by his parents. So this was in final year that this person was not able to take it at all. He became so crazy that the institution, the management asked the parents to come and stay in the hostel because this person became so mad that he would start shouting and yelling and beating people around whoever comes closer to him. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine you being in final year and your parents coming and staying with you in the hostel? So pathetic. And if such a situation arises, it means that how crazy the situation that person will be in. The point that I'm trying to make again is the inner stability, the inner strength matters a lot because situations will keep changing every now and then. If we are not able to take that situation properly, the highs and lows of our life, then we'll not be able to manage it and we'll end up in a very, very pathetic state. Right. So the success of our life, as I always say in all my sessions, is to become strong within, to become stable within. Yes. And how to do that? That is what is the discussion that we're going to have now. Please hear this very carefully. This is only for them who really want to make something out of their life, who really want to be successful in their day-to-day life, and who really want to be satisfied and happy with their family members, with their loved ones around. Only for them, this particular topic is, which I'm going to start now. So, as of now, as I already said, we all are living a superficial life. Yes. And the superficial life will not take us anywhere. So we have to go deeper and deeper and deeper in our life. And what do I mean by deeper? We have to understand the four needs of ours. Hmm? I'm going to tell these four needs. I request all of you all to remember because this will really help you when you're living your day-to-day life. The first one is called as the physical need. Now, all of us are studying, and finally, we want a placement. Yes, we want to get placed in a nice company with a good package, and obviously get married, have some kids, and settle nicely in life. So for that, as of now, we are studying. So when it comes to physical need, it's all about this to maintain this body that we have got. How nicely I can live, with my family. How nicely I can earn. Food, shelter, clothing, are these taken care very nicely? How is my health? Am I working towards that? So taking care of food, shelter, clothing, exercise, and all the other needs of this body, they come under physical need. And very important, we should take care of this. And all of us are doing it. Every single day, all of us are doing this very nicely. That is physical need, taking care of the physical need. Now, the next thing that is talked about is psychological need. Now, psychological need is also very, very important. What do you mean by psychological need? Psychological need basically means a sense of achievement. Yes. A sense of achievement, sense of accomplishment. For example, it feels like, yes, I've achieved something. When we are presenting a paper in the international conference and then we get a good grade for it, people appreciate us, we feel a sense of achievement. In future, when you'll be in your final year and you'll get placed in some company, it will be a sense of achievement. And in that sense of achievement, we feel like partying. We throw parties and we enjoy. Yes. So the thing is, that sense of achievement which is there, that is very, very important in our life, in every phase of life. In every phase of life, sense of achievement is very important. Like, for example, in our KG section, first standard, second standard, coming first in the running race or coming first in some game like that was an achievement. Yes. Or getting some, I don't know if it was there in your school, it was there in mine. Those stars teachers would give, if the handwriting is good and if we answer the questions properly, But they would give stars, 2 star, 3 star, and things like that. Oh, okay. Nitya Aishwarya is saying yes. Yes. So the stars which were there, those would give happiness, and we would come and show, Mama, Papa, look, look, I've got this. And parents would also behave as if, we have won some Oscar award or some Padma Bhushan award. Amazing, 2 stars, 3 stars. Sense of achievement. Yes. And then, when we passed uh, from our primary section to secondary section for boys, when we wore from half pant to full pants, it was a sense of achievement. Come on, I started wearing full pants. Yes. And then, when we got some admission, like all of you have got admission in this prestigious college. Yes. So maybe when you got the admission, you might have felt that sense of achievement. In fact, I can relate to all the students, so I can share this. For the first time, when I got the admission in the college I studied in, my father came to drop me. Okay. So he came in his car to drop me, and then we were coming closer. I was looking in the map how far we are in, and was showing that Google Map pin. It was showing it's this far. I was so excited, and when I reached there, the board which when I saw, Bits Pilani, I was like, I've attained a success in life, and that was the full happiness which I got. A sense of accomplishment. It feels amazing, when we get sense of accomplishment. And this sense of accomplishment actually helps us to a great extent. In future, when you'll get a job, when you'll get married, when you have kids, when your kids will study nicely, and when they will show stars to you, at that time you'll feel like the sense of accomplishment. So this is called a psychological need, the sense of accomplishment, or the sense of achievement, which is there. So we covered two needs: physical need, that is taking care of this body, and second is psychological need, that is sense of accomplishment, which is here in the mind. Yes. The sense of accomplishment, it's internal. The person feels it internally. It's not external. Yes. So physical need and psychological need. Third one, emotional need. So this emotional need basically means to love and to be loved. This love aspect which is there, it's a very, very important need in everyone's life. And it is seen that people who have not got love from their parents in their childhood, what happens is they become very emotionally unstable in their life. Very, very unstable. Because right from the childhood, they have not got that love, and they become extremely, stone-hearted, in their life. Extremely stone-hearted. It becomes very difficult for them to manage small change in emotional setup around them. That is emotional need. So everyone wants to love, and everyone wants to be loved. This need is very, very important. All those kids, all those students are very, very fortunate who have loving parents, who have got their loving siblings, who have got loving faculties. They're very, very, very fortunate. So this love and to be loved comprises this emotional need. So three needs we have covered till now: physical need, that is taking care of this body; second, psychological need, that is satisfaction or achievement that we feel in the mind; and third is emotional need, the sense of love and to be loved that we feel in our heart. So these three needs are very, very important. May I tell you something now? There are many people all around the world whose these three needs are fulfilled to a very great extent. Like you take up any celebrity for that matter, any cricket player, or any celebrity, Bollywood, Tollywood, or whatever. So all those celebrities, they have got these three needs fulfilled. Physical need, they earn nicely. They have got a big bungalow. Sometimes they have got huge 50-story building, and only 4 people are staying in that. That's how rich they are. That's how much opulence they have in their life. So they have got such opulence. And then taking care of the body, etc. They have got their cooks keep providing juices every now and then. They have their own personal gym trainer and whatnot. Yes. So food is good, shelter, they have got good shelters, and clothing, they keep wearing the newer ones, the fashion designed ones. And when it comes to health is good. Everything is good. Everything is good. So physical need is taken care very nicely. Second, psychological need. They're so famous. They're so famous. Wherever they go, people ask autograph, autograph, and everyone come together. Can you please give me autograph? Can you please give me autograph? In fact, know, when by mistakenly when we come on television, maybe when the college interview is going on, and then by mistakenly we're standing somewhere in the far, and we're like, look, I'm there in the screen. Look, I'm there in the screen. We are there somewhere in the corner, and we feel happy. Just imagine that person, the celebrity, they're there on the big screen. They're there on the big screen, and everyone is watching them. Look at their achievement, and just imagine the level of psychological satisfaction that they have. Very high level. That will be very high level. They'll feel so much satisfied within, so much satisfied within because of this emotional need, sorry, psychological need getting fulfilled. So physical need, very nicely fulfilled. Psychological need, very nicely getting fulfilled. Emotional need. Emotional need is fulfilled to a great extent. They have got so many followers. Yes. They're ready to give their life. I don't know currently this is happening or not. But previously I used to hear that there would be some great fans, who would write letters to their favorite celebrity with blood, with their own blood, and they'll pass it on. Can you imagine writing a letter, from blood? I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine. Writing with a pen nowadays is difficult. Whatever writing with blood. They have got such fans. There was one pop star. I would not like to name that person. So he had gone to one place, and he was singing. He was singing, and then everyone was like, he was a great pop star, and everyone would like that person a lot. And there were like lakhs of people who had assembled there. It was almost like a stampede situation where everyone is crowding towards the stage, and this pop star is singing, and he's like moving around the stage. And you know what? He did a very, very filthy thing. Very, very filthy thing. On the stage, I don't know if it is right to speak in a college seminar like this, but then, anyways, and I would like to speak. He urinated on the audience. And you know what the audience did? They all were coming close. Let one drop fall on my head. Let one drop fall on my head. Can you imagine the madness of the fans for all these celebrities? When Michael Jackson died at that time, so many people, so many people, so many of his fans fell sick, went into depression, and some people committed suicide also. This is the fan following that these people have. But now I have a question to all of you all. Have you heard celebrities committing suicide? This is my question. Have you heard celebrities committing suicide? How many of you have heard? Hey, so many of you. So all of you know. So many of them. I have one example. I would like to share my screen. I've got one example. His name is Chester Bennington. He was the lead singer in Linkin Park. I don't know how many of you know about Linkin Park. So he's Chester Bennington, and he committed suicide July 20th, 2017. So when I was in my 11th and 12th standard, I would listen to Linkin Park album a lot. Now just imagine this personality. He had everything. He was earning so much. He was the lead singer of his album. And he was that personality, who had so many fans. And I showed the photo. He looked so handsome as well. But then in 2017, on one fine day, the unfortunate situation dawned upon him, and he committed suicide. The owner of Cafe Coffee Day, such a great personality, such a great personality. He committed suicide. So many Bollywood stars. Now, if I start naming, it will be a huge list. They committed suicide. So my question is that if their physical need was fulfilled to a great extent, if their psychological need was fulfilled to a great extent, if their emotional need was fulfilled to a great extent, which all of us are hankering for. If suppose today, if someone gives you an option, would you like to be a celebrity in just one night? Everyone will come forward because no, everyone feels that yes, that's what I want to become. That's what I want. That opulence I want. That position I want. That name, fame I want. Someone, when I asked the question, what everyone is looking forward for, someone said fame. Someone said wealth. So everything they have, then why the hell they're committing suicide? What's the problem? And that is one. Second thing, consider upper middle class or middle class family. Maybe all of us. All of us belong to middle class, and some of you might belong to higher class and things like that. I'm a small person, so even when it comes to us, for us also food, shelter, clothing is there. Parents are good. Setup is okay. But again, a question for all of you: do we feel a hollowness within our heart? Do we feel that hollowness within our heart even when we have everything around us? Answer question for all of you. We have good parents. Money is there, and then I've got a good college setup is there, and then we are studying also. Okay, but still there is something which is lacking. Yes. Nitya, she is saying yes. Anushri is saying sometimes. No other person feels hollowness. All of you are filled completely. Oh, so many of you. Yes, that hollowness is there. What to talk about celebrities? Even common public like us, we feel that hollowness. Yes. Why is that hollowness? Let's discuss that. So three needs are fulfilled, but still the fourth need is not fulfilled. Yes. The fourth need is the spiritual need, which is not fulfilled. This spiritual need, which is there, is a very, very important need, which people ignore. Let me make a strong statement today. Spirituality is not optional, it is mandatory for a happy living. This lockdown, I realize this a lot. I was getting so many calls. Being a spiritual counselor, I was getting so many calls, for this. I could feel that how people are feeling that hollowness, when their practice of spirituality is not there. The spiritual need is very, very important. Very, very important, especially in the college days. Because college days are the times when there'll be lots of things to be done. This assignment, this project, this presentation, this inter-college competition, and then this placement. All this is there, and then in the house, some relatives' marriage will happen, some relatives' engagement. We have to do everything, and there'll be some pressure of getting placed in a company, and there'll be a pressure, from parents get married. So much of pressure will be there from all sides. Yes. And what happens during college time? People try to be cool, and people feel that our spirituality and all is for old age, not for us. We'll see in the old age. But let me tell you, now in corporate setups, in various companies, they have got various seminars for spirituality. You know why? Because this has become the need of the hour. Very, very important. Because if the spiritual need is not fulfilled, the person cannot be happy and satisfied. And if the person is not happy and satisfied, he cannot be successful and productive in life. Very difficult. And maybe he'll be working very nicely for some time, and again he'll go down like anything. And there's so many cases like that. So many cases. So the spiritual need is very, very important. I was so happy someone sang uh, that beautiful prayer at the start of the session. A very nice prayer that was about Lord Vishnu. And looks like the CMS college is very much into various spiritual aspects. Very nice to hear that. Yesterday also some prayers were sung and some statements were made about dependence on God and things like that. In fact, we are celebrating the birthday of this personality, Srinivas Ramanujan. He makes a statement. I was reading his biography. He makes a statement that all the knowledge that I've got has been revealed by my Ishtadev, my what do you call it, as the God which I relate to. So that God has revealed to me this great knowledge. And he makes a very nice statement. Let me see if I can find that statement. Yes. He makes a statement that an equation for me has no meaning unless it expresses a thought of God. Look at the statement. I was like, I fell in love when I read this statement. An equation, and it makes sense for me only when it expresses a thought of God. This great personality, as most of you all might be knowing, Srinivas Ramanujan, he was brought up in a very, very nice spiritual environment. His mother, would be training him in various spiritual activities, and right from childhood he was doing that. And his health was not good, for a long, long time. Right, from a very early time, his health was not good, but still he was able to manage. I was also reading about his aspects in London, his life aspects in London. So when he went there, into Western country, there it was a bit difficult for him, to maintain his food habits and various other things. But still, this person, he didn't move, from the principles that he was following. This is the strength that he had because of the practice of spirituality. And then he would face anyone and everyone. A person from a small town, yes, from a person from a small town. He was directly facing big giants in Western countries. Can you imagine the strength that he had? And this is not easy. Now, I've seen when students come from village setup, oh, they feel a lot of demotivation. They feel a lot of loss of self-confidence. They feel that they're very low than everyone else around. And I've seen personally, when I interact with people. But this personality from a small town, but then, he was interacting and competing, with great stalwarts. How? He had that spiritual need fulfilled. Anyone whose spiritual need is fulfilled, that personality can do wonders. Even if the toughest of the toughest time will come in his life or her life, he'll be able to manage. Like this, he'll be able to manage like this. Yes. So, what is the spiritual need all about? Spiritual need is not like when we close our eyes, a big light will come. Right? That's not spiritual need. Spiritual need is to realize our real identity, the identity of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and what is our relationship with God. These three constitute spiritual need. If anyone who understands this through spiritual practice, such a personality will be called whose spiritual needs are fulfilled. And such personalities are really strong and stable. Really strong and stable. Let me give you a small example. A sadhu in Varanasi. Yes. So this sadhu was sitting in his hermitage, and then he was doing some spiritual practices. By the way, when it comes to doing spiritual practices, it doesn't mean that one has to become a sadhu. Wherever we are, we can do spiritual practices. Yes. We have to be sadhu here in the heart, not externally, not needed. So this sadhu was sitting in the Rishikesh in a very nice setup, and then he was doing some spiritual practices. A foreigner was just going around. Foreigners, they carry cameras and then they take videos and things like that. So this person was doing that, going around, and then he landed up in that particular place where the sadhu was sitting. He told the sadhu, "Hey, what is this? You're such a poor person. You don't have anything. Nothing is there, in your entire hermitage. What sort of person you are?" And then he started telling so many things. He started insulting, this person in so many ways. And at that time, the sadhu, when the foreigner was telling that you don't have anything, you just have a mat. Where are your furnitures? Where are your possessions? Now just imagine if someone comes to your house and starts telling all this. What is this sofa? What is this bed? What is this curtain? What sort of house? What are the clothes you're wearing? What will be our reaction? We are so unstable people that we cannot wait for lift also. Have you noticed? We press the button of the lift and it's there on the 10th floor. It is coming down. Still, people will keep pressing button. Why is it not coming? Why is it not coming? We belong to that category. Yes. If someone comes and tells like that, maybe we'll murder that person. But you know what the sadhu replied? He asked that Westerner that, where are your furnitures? Where are your possessions? The traveler said, I'm a traveler. I'm traveling to this place. All my furnitures, all my possessions are there back in my house, in my country. And the sadhu said, similarly, all my possessions, all my furnitures are there in my house. And that Westerner was flat, completely flat. Yes. This is called as strong within, stable within by spiritual practices. In fact, in college times, I've seen that students are so unstable that a little trigger and they do wrong things. Like for example, boys, when they're seniors or when they're equals, they trigger them saying, "Hey man, take little drugs. What's the problem? Take one peg of alcohol. What's the problem? You're not man or what?" And the person says, "No, no, I'm man." And then he starts taking. Oh, your manhood is decided by all this nonsense. Yes, a small trigger and we get into a wrong path altogether. And many times people keep talking to each other, bitching about each other and things like that, and people get hurt like anything. This is our stability as of now in this situation as students. And look at the stability of that sadhu. The person chastised him left and right, and it hardly mattered. It hardly mattered for him. Once Alexander the Great, who conquered the entire world, landed up in a place called Vrindavan in Mathura. And he went to a sadhu again. And then he was going around and he asked the sadhu, what sort of life are you living? You don't have anything. Yes. And see, you're not conquered anything. You don't have your own kingdom. You don't have your own place. The sadhu asked him that, what have you done? He said that I've killed so many kings. The sadhu asked why. I wanted to conquer all his ministers and all his people. He said, why? I wanted the entire kingdom. Why? I wanted the entire country. Why? I wanted the entire world for myself. And the sadhu asked, why? And he said, because I want to be happy and satisfied. And sadhu said, I'm happy and satisfied in the small hut. And he was flat again. He was flat again. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that in our life, if we really want to be stable within, if we really want to cultivate stability within, we have to take care of our physical need, psychological need, emotional need. And along with that, we have to also take care of our spiritual need. Anyone who ignores any of the four, has to struggle a lot, for sure. For sure. The person might say that, I don't believe this, I don't believe that. It's okay. You don't believe, it's your problem. But then surely we'll have to suffer. Yes. So this spiritual aspect which I'm talking about, makes a lot of sense in our day-to-day life. And if we have the spiritual need fulfilled, surely, we'll become very strong within and stable within. But then many of the times, my students ask this question to me, but there's so many people around, who will look at us and who will joke on us and create humor, make us a laughing stock. But can I tell you something? When we are in critical situations, those people who are laughing at us will not come to help us. They'll not come. It's only we who have to make our life. No, we cannot depend on people around to make our life. Happy times, many people will be there, but sad times and critical times, people will not be there. And people will keep speaking. That's what their mood is. All the time, they'll keep speaking something or the other. I'll tell you a short story which I'm remembering now. A story of a donkey and the owner and his son. So the owner and his son, the owner of the donkey, the owner and the son, I should say father and the son, they were carrying some clothes. And they kept those clothes on the donkey. And they were walking. So people around, they started telling that what sort of people, what sort of father and son they are. So much load they have given on the donkey. They don't understand this donkey is a Mooka Prani. It cannot speak. They're giving so much of pain. So the father heard this and then he took the load on himself. And then they moved ahead and some people started again talking. Look at these fools. Donkey is there. And instead of keeping his son on the donkey and keeping the load on the donkey, this person is carrying the load on himself. And then he heard that. Then what did he do? He put the son and the load on the donkey and they started walking. And after moving some distance, again some villagers they started talking. Look at this arrogant son who is sitting on the donkey. His old father is walking, and this young son is sitting on the donkey. What sort of person he is? And then this father, he said, hey, you get down, I'll sit. The father sat, and the son came down. And again, when they were moving ahead, people started talking. Why the son is walking? He cannot sit on the donkey. And then the son also sat on the donkey. Father is sitting, son, and the load is there on the donkey. And people started saying, look at this cruel people. No, they have put so much of load and they're, making this Mooka Prani, this dumb animal, walk so much with so much of load. Finally what they did, they got down, they removed the load, they got a huge stick, they tied the front leg and the hind legs of the donkey to the stick, and they started carrying the donkey. So the point that I'm trying to make is, you do whatever in life, people will talk about it. People will say, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? Go hell with it. I don't care what you talk. That should be our mood. and we should carry on with our practices. We should stick to our principles, and we should live our life. So spiritual practices are very, very important. Come what may, let people talk whatever they want to. And as I already said, realizing our real identity, the identity of God, and our realization with God, that constitutes spiritual need. And one of the important aspect of spiritual need is meditation. So all of us should do some of the other meditation, at least for 10-15 minutes in the day. Very, very important. And by this meditation, we'll be able to conquer our mind first, which is always unstable. We'll be able to focus. We'll have that peace in life. We'll have that happiness. And more importantly, we will get that realization of who we are, who is God, and what is our relationship with Him. And we will become stable with Him. So some sort of meditation should be done. Very, very important. I personally, every single day, I start my day with 2 hours of meditation. And all my students do that every single day, in the morning, from 5:30 to 7:30, we do meditation. It is called as mantra meditation. And this mantra meditation is very, very effective. Very effective. So anyone and everyone who's interested to do meditation, they can do any meditation. This is one such meditation which I practice and preach about. Yes. So in this mantra meditation, what basically we do is we sit at one place and we chant mantra. And this mantra is called as the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which I chanted at the start of the session. And when we chant this mantra, we have to just hear that mantra very, very carefully. Like for example, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So now, when I'm chanting this mantra, I'm not imagining anything. This is a universal mantra. There is no question of religion. There is no question of caste and creed. Anyone can chant. Yes. And there's no question of imagining. There's no question of, I will imagine this personality, that personality, or whatever. And it's not about removing thoughts from the mind. It's not about focusing on the light, nothing. Just chant the mantra and hear the mantra. So scientifically, it is said, when we engage 2 or more senses in one particular activity, our mind gets focused. So in mantra meditation, it's very scientific because our tongue is engaged, we are chanting. Our ears are engaged because we are hearing. And at the same time, we are seeing the mantra, so our eyes are also engaged. And in the fingers, we are counting. Yes. So every day, it's recommended that minimum 108 times, we should chant this and try to focus. Automatically, whatever I spoke today, we'll be able to realize and we'll be able to become stable within and strong within. So maybe, we have some time. So for 2 minutes, let's do this mantra meditation for 11 to 12 times. Let's chant this mantra. By the way, would you like to do? Or should we stop now? Would you like to do mantra meditation? Just few yes sirs will not go. Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, chalo. Let me share the screen. I'll share the mantra here. So hope it is clear what we're supposed to do. We have to just chant the mantra and hear the mantra. That's it. No imagination. So wherever you are, just sit in a relaxed position. Look at the screen. I've displayed the mantra. And all of us will be chanting together. So you all can chant with me in the same pace. Yes, let's start now. Hope everyone is sitting in a relaxed position. If you know the mantra, close your eyes. If you don't know, look at the screen. Let us start chanting. Just for 2 minutes, keep all your work aside. Just focus on the mantra, what you're chanting. And don't think about anything else, not needed. For 2 minutes, you'll not do a great endeavor. Yes, you're not going to win a big battle. For 2 minutes, just be relaxed and let's focus on the mantra. Here we go. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All of us, for the last three times, with complete focus, let us all chant this mantra only for last three times with complete focus. Don't allow your mind to go here and there. Just focus on the mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. For the last time, all of us together in one voice with focus on the mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So be relaxed and open your eyes and come back to the same place. So with this, I would like to pause today's session. Thank you very much. It was really amazing to have all of you all, with such nice, what to say, interaction, immediate response as soon as I asked a question. So now, if you have some questions, please go ahead, post your questions. Now, it will be my pleasure to answer your questions. And also, what have you gained from this session? I would like to know from you all. What have you gained from today's session? One point, whatever you liked in today's session. Yes, please go ahead. I'm waiting. For next 5 minutes, we do this activity and we stop. How to fulfill spiritual need by mantras and pujas. So Nitya, Aishwarya, so the answer I've given in the session, my answer was by doing this mantra meditation. In this age of Kali Yuga, it is very nicely told in Kali Santrana Upanishad, in Srimad Bhagavatam, and so many other scriptures. Kritaya dhyayato Vishnu tretayam ejato makhe dvapare paricharyayam kalau tadhari kirtana. In different ages, people would do different ways, to do spiritual practices. In Satyuga, it was meditation. People would sit at one place and just close their eyes and do nothing. So that was meditation. Now we cannot do that. We cannot sit at one place and we cannot focus. So much of disturbance is there all around. So that's not possible. Second, Tretayam ejato. In Treta Yuga, they would do yagya full day. Now we cannot do yagya also. You need pure ingredients, pure ghee, and a pure sadhu, a pure brahmana. We don't have people like that. Very difficult. Third, in the age of Dwapar Yuga, so it was deity worship, Archana Vidhi. So that is also very difficult now because it has a lot of rules and regulations. So in this age of Kali Yuga, we cannot do meditation, we cannot do a proper yagya, we cannot do proper deity worship in the temples. So it is recommended, Kalau Tadhari Kirtana. In this age of Kali, we have to do mantra meditation by chanting the holy names of the Lord. That's the reason you go any part of India, everywhere they will talk about Nama Sankirtan. Yes, I'm sure you might have heard. You all are from pious place. Tamil Nadu has got lots and lots of temples. It's a hub of temples there. So you'll see that. At most of the places they'll talk about Nama Sankirtan, Nam Jap. That is called as mantra meditation. So spirituality or spiritual need will be fulfilled only when we are doing mantra meditation in this age of Kali Yuga, and that's what we did at the end of the session. Yes, hope this answers your question, Nitya. Anushri's question is it good to be an introvert or extrovert? Okay. This is a frequently asked question. I don't know why students have this question. So please understand that all of us have born with a set of our nature. We all have got set of qualities. And these qualities are inherent and innate. Those are there already within us. Yes. So these qualities which we have gained, we have gained from various aspects. I'll not get into that. It's a very very deep topic, which relates to topics like reincarnation and past life and things like that. But as of now, just consider this, that we have got these qualities from our past backgrounds. Hmm? And these qualities are very much connected to us, very much connected to us. So change the qualities very difficult. Yes. So what we have to do is make the best out of what we have. This is a very important point. All of us, have got some of the other unique qualities. Now, suppose, for example, now there are many people on internet. They are recording so many motivational videos. There are many people who are, acting very nicely. There are many people who are singing very nicely. And suppose if I don't know any of it, and if I start doing that, don't you think I'll be frustrated in life if I start doing all that? But I might be good at drawing. I might be good at, say, some technical knowledge. But I'm not good at, say, singing. I'm not good at, other aspects which I just described. So if I start focusing on what I'm not good at, it will make me give a lot of frustration in day-to-day life, and pull me down to a very great extent. So the point is, all of us have got some nature, and we have to find out what is our nature and just be with it. We cannot change it. Please understand. And even if we can change, say, no, this is our level. So even if we can change, maybe we can change this much. We cannot change like this. If a person is introvert, he cannot become extrovert. Maybe he can come up like this much. Yes. So your question is it good to be an introvert or extrovert? My answer is, it is good to be an introvert and it is good to be an extrovert. Because it depends on the person, what is his nature. And we have to use our nature very properly. We should understand our nature, find our strength, and just use it very nicely in our day-to-day life without thinking to copy what others are doing. That will never keep us happy. That will always make us unstable, and it will pull our consciousness down, our motivation down, and at some point of time, we'll be so low in our life that we'll not be able to do anything. Yes. So hope this answers your question, Anushri. Monisha Haridas has a question. How to overcome fear? Oh, that's a nice question. Hmm. I have a question for you. Suppose you're a small child, and say you have you started walking. Say you're in first or second standard. So you are walking. You started walking, or you started going to school. That's the right thing. And then you're holding your father's hand, and then you're walking, and so huge traffic, and suddenly somehow you lose your father's little finger, and then you become alone. Your father walked ahead thinking that you're catching his hand. Will you be fearful, or will you be okay like you were before? Yes, Monisha. Will you be fearful at that time when you leave the little finger of your father in the street, or no? I guess you're fearing to answer. Okay, yes. That is what is our current situation. You know what? We have left the little finger, of our eternal Father, God Himself. And since we have forgotten Him, since we don't have a connection with Him now, we have fear of every now and then about small small things. And it is very clear, no one will be there with us all the time, but God will be there always with us all the time. So spiritual practice, when someone does spiritual practice, especially this mantra meditation, what I said, that personality will be able to overcome this fear. Many times I've seen people fear for small, small things. For small, small things, people fear. As soon as someone is called on the stage, everything starts shivering and different dance step will start. Yes. Why? What's the problem? Max to max, what will happen? People will just laugh, right? People will just laugh at our situation. Then why the hell we start fearing so much? Are people going to kill us? No, they're not going to kill us. But this fear which is there because we don't have a constant support with us. But just imagine if your father stands beside you when you're giving a speech. We'll be so bold. Like, come on, man, I'll see who the hell you are who can laugh at me. Yes. Same thing, if all of us in our day-to-day life, if we can just realize that supreme personality of Godhead, God in our life, that Almighty, that supreme power in our life, we will not fear anyone. Even in the pitch dark, lonely road, we will not fear anyone. We will walk with confidence and with a great motivation and enthusiasm because we'll always be protected. And that's how you see small kids will not fear anyone when they're there with their parents. Always, they will be very, very fearless. They'll be like, "Ah, theek hai, dekha jayega," whatever it is. Yes. So this is what is my answer to you. By practice of spirituality, especially the mantra meditation, which I taught you all today, just by doing this every day, we'll be able to realize our supreme friend with us, our supreme father with us all the time. And we will not fear anyone in this world. Anyone. And let me tell you, no one in this world deserves, a serious attention of ours by which we should get fear of anyone. My pleasure. I see Dipti Devakaran. How many times mantra should be chanted? To start with, 108 times. 108 times we can chant. So there are beats, 108 beats, we can just count on it. Or there are nowadays counters available on mobile and electronic counters. We can count that. So chant one mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then click that button or move the bead. So one time mantra is chanted, then second time you chant, then third time. Like that 108 times. And this anytime we can do. Any time of the day, there is no restriction for that. Whenever you're free, when you're free from your studies, you can do that. How to come out of failures? Okay, how to come out of failures? So you want to always be successful? Let me tell you something. When it comes to admission to some military force, one of my students was sharing who was aspiring, to get into military force. So he was sharing this, that they will ask that how many times you have failed in your life and which all situations. And if the person says that I was successful throughout my life, that person will not be taken. That person will not get admission. You know why? Because failures are needed. If failures are not there, we will never understand what is our weak point. If this weak point is not known, sometimes in the critical situations, if we fail, we will not be able to hold ourselves. So better to fail at times when things are good. In fact, when I give parenting sessions, to parents, so I tell them, leave your kids. Now, after their 7th standard, just leave them. And let them be independent. Let them study by themselves, choose various activities by themselves. So they will say that, no, Prabhuji, what if they fail? No problem. No, let them fail. 7th standard failing is good, than failing in BTech or MTech or whatever, right? So this is the point, that failing is not a problem, but when we fail, remaining in that low phase all the time is a problem. Understanding that I have failed, we come down, but then immediately by the help of our superiors, by our mentors, we hold their hands and we come up as fast as possible. So failing is not a problem, but remaining in the low phase of our life all the time is a problem. Yes. So if we have this habit of whenever we fail, we pick someone, we hold someone's hand and come up as fast as possible, then we are successful. We are successful even in the failure. Take my words. Hope this answers your question. Okay. It's already 12:40 and questions after questions are coming. Okay. So these two questions I'll answer and then I'll stop for the day. But I also want to know what you have taken from today's session. So others can start posting what you have taken from today's session. Yes, and then we would like to stop. Okay. Failure gives a lot of stress. Yes, it gives. How could we encourage ourselves? Okay. Sir, are you saying that we should be happy with what we have and be stable inside? Yes, that's what we're talking about. But it's a very, very difficult thing. Very difficult. Very difficult to remain stable or remain happy with what we have. So for that, we need to have some spiritual practices. And by spiritual practices, we'll get a broad heart by which we'll realize and be grateful for whatever we have. Yes. So, and there's a deeper meaning also with your spiritual practices. You'll realize that. How could we encourage ourselves? encouraging ourselves in our day-to-day life, we can look back in our life and see. We will see that all the situations of our life, all those dots can be joined very nicely. And we will see that in every situation we have learned something. So when we look back and when we start joining the dots, at that time we'll realize that every situation is the best situation. Oh, and once we realize that every situation is the best situation, and I'll get something to learn today, either by a success or a failure, we'll be so encouraged, to do this particular thing, right? So this is what is my answer. So just look back in your life and just join the dots. All your successful and failed situations, just join those dots and see what you have learned. And you will see that every situation has taught something. Okay, Deepthi, Divakar, and how to overcome from anxiety. I guess all of you have got a lot of anxiety. As I already said, we are in a changing world. Come on. Anxiety will be there, no? We are in a changing world, so there will be anxiety all the time, right? Because all the time we will have this problem. All the time we'll have this problem that, or this question, what if this particular thing is taken away from me? All the time, this problem will be there. This anxiety will be there. But we have to accept that, and this also answers the question how to overcome depression. We have to accept the fact that things will change. I will lose whatever I have with time, because I'm staying in a changing world. Yeah. So the point that I'm trying to make is that we will lose things with time, but then in this changing world, if we can remain unchanged, if we can remain stable, strong within throughout the session, that's what I was talking about, strong within, then all these problems will be taken care. We will not be in anxiety. I always give this example in my introductory sessions. Like, for example, it's raining very heavily outside. So this is a question this is a question again for you, Deepthi and Darshini. Suppose you're going out in the rains. You don't want to get wet. What will you do? What will you do if you don't want to get wet? Yes, Deepthi or Darshini, both of you can answer. You're going out in rains, you don't want to get wet. So what will you do? Okay, maybe you're fearing and you're in anxiety. You'll take an umbrella, simple. So when we take an umbrella, we will not get wet. When we are wearing a raincoat, we will not get wet. Yes, Kanishka is saying umbrellas. Yes. Similarly, when I'm saying that we should become strong with him, our spiritual practices will act like umbrella. Rains are not going to stop. The problems are not going to stop. This is what I'm saying. The problems will not stop. The changing world will not stop. It will keep changing. So the point is, we have to have the spiritual practices umbrella with us. And by this, the rains will not touch us. The rains of problems will not touch us. The rains of anxiety and depression will not touch us. Yes. So this is what is my answer to you. Or in fact, answer to most of the questions will be spiritual practices. Make sure your fourth need is fulfilled. Spiritual need is fulfilled. Once that is fulfilled, most of things will be taken care. Yes. So yes, here I see Dr. Mudula is saying that you all can contact me personally. So yes, you can contact me personally. You can send me a mail. Maybe I can give my mail ID. karthikeya.dasa@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook as well. But when you send me a friend request, please send me a message as well that you're from CMS College and you attended the session of mine. And also recently I've launched a course, a free course on Bhagavad Gita. So any one of you are interested, you all can explore that. Here is the link for the same. So this is free for all the students. So I thought since I'm coming here, I'm opening it for you all also. So you can just log in and go through the videos, which I'm releasing every day. So thank you very much. It's very nice.